The camera pans across a rainy city street, neon lights flicker over puddles, where a shivering homeless man sits beside a half-broken sign that reads veteran. Hungry. Please help. Then, smack. A police officer slaps the man's face, yelling, "Get off the sidewalk, you're scaring people." The few bystanders look away. No one dares to intervene. Except one. A rumble breaks through the rain, the deep growl of a Harley engine. A biker, drenched in black leather and tattoos that tell 1,000 stories, slows to a stop. He pulls off his helmet, revealing eyes filled with quiet fire. He doesn't say a word. But the moment he steps off that bike, everyone feels something is about to change. The city was tired that evening, tired of injustice, tired of indifference. The rain fell harder as the homeless man, Henry, clutched his wet blanket tighter. Once, he'd served his country. Now, he serves no one but hunger. The officer, Sergeant Doyle, was having a bad day. His boss yelled at him, his marriage was falling apart, and the last thing he wanted was another complaint about loitering. So, when he saw Henry sleeping beside the cafe window, he snapped. "Didn't I tell you yesterday to move your trash somewhere else?" Doyle growled. Henry raised his trembling hands. "Sir, I just needed to get out of the rain. Out of my sight," Doyle shouted, before his palm struck Henry's cheek. The sound echoed through the narrow street. That's when the Harley roared. The biker, Jake Mason, leader of the Iron Hearts Motorcycle Club, stopped mid-ride. His brothers had gone ahead, but something in that sound, the sound of helplessness, made him stop. He parked the bike and stepped forward. The officer turned, annoyed. "This is police business, move along," Doyle barked. Jake's gaze didn't move. He crouched beside Henry and gently picked up the man's fallen beanie. "You okay, brother?" he asked softly. Henry couldn't speak. His lips trembled. Jake stood, towering over Doyle. His voice was calm but sharp enough to slice through the rain. "That how you serve the people, officer? By hitting old men who fought for your flag?" "Back off, biker," Doyle sneered. "Or I'll." "You'll what?" Jake interrupted, stepping closer. The crowd that had gathered began whispering. Phones were out, recording. Doyle realized his mistake. Jake leaned in, his voice low but dangerous. "You wear that badge to protect, not to humiliate. You forgot that." Then Jake turned to the crowd. "You all saw it. Don't delete those videos. Truth belongs to everyone." The tension broke as Jake placed his leather jacket over Henry's shoulders and guided him toward his bike. The officer yelled behind them, but Jake didn't look back. As they disappeared into the misty night, Doyle's chest tightened, the guilt he'd been burying started to rise. The next morning, the video hit social media. Within hours, it had millions of views. "Biker saves homeless veteran from abusive cop," every headline carried Jake's face. At the police station, chaos erupted. Reporters surrounded the entrance, demanding answers. Doyle sat in silence, staring at the screen, where his own aggression replayed again and again. Jake arrived, not with threats, but with something unexpected. He walked into the station holding a folder. The chief looked up, surprised. "What do you want, Mason?" Jake set the folder on the desk. "This is Henry's file. His service record. He was a decorated Marine Purple Heart, 2 tours overseas. But after his wife died, he lost everything. Nobody helped him." The chief frowned. "You want us to?" "I want you to see him as human again," Jake said, voice steady. "Your officer hit a man who gave everything for this country. I'm not here for revenge. I'm here for change." The room fell silent. Even Doyle looked down, tears starting to well up. Jake turned to him. "You can't undo what you did. But you can own it. That's where it starts." Later that day, Doyle visited Henry not as a cop, but as a man seeking forgiveness. He brought him food, clothes, and a promise: "You won't sleep on the streets again." Jake and his biker brothers organized a fundraiser for Henry and others like him. Within weeks, a small shelter called Iron Heart's Haven opened, funded by bikers, citizens, and even some police officers. And when the media asked Jake what made him stop that night, he smiled and said, "Because silence helps the wrong side. And I've been silent too many times." Final scene, emotional closing. The camera shows Henry, now clean, working at the shelter's kitchen, laughing with other veterans. Outside, Jake rides off on his Harley, the sunset reflecting on his jacket. A voiceover echoes his final words. "You can't change the whole world overnight, but you can change one moment. And sometimes, that's enough to change everything."